Welcome into Fountain Report Insights. I'm Matt Bubala here with the latest news and information from the Fountain Report and the team at Intelligence. This Friday in the Fountain Report, Dr. David Haworth has a piece on the Dunning-Kruger effect and innovation in veterinary medicine. He joins us right now to dig a little deeper. Dr. Haworth, the Dunning-Kruger effect is basically an observation that we are never more confident in our ability to do a task than when we are brand new at that task. That often once we get started, we realize how hard something is and we lose some of that confidence. So how do you feel that that relates to veterinary medicine and innovation, whether that be new products or just trying new ways to solve problems within practice?
Thanks, Matt. Yeah, this is a really fun topic. I started thinking about the Dunning-Kruger effect after seeing Dr. Dunning at the AVMA Business and Economic Forum last month. And as it's easy to think about the Dunning-Kruger effect in sort of a cynical way of, boy, do we remember the times we started something being super overconfident that it was going to be easier than it actually turned out to be. But I hope that the message isn't that you're always going to be less competent than you are confident at the outset of these things, but to more acknowledge that this is important. This is evolutionarily, we need to be overconfident compared to our competence in order to start anything, or else we probably wouldn't start those things. And so I think when it comes to innovation or practice for that matter, it's not a question of not doing something. It's a question of making sure you realize that it's probably going to be harder than you think. You probably won't be as competent as you think you are. And then building in systems to make sure that those risks are mitigated. That's all. I think the Dunning-Kruger effect is just fascinating because it is such a true and experienced thing for most of us who have tried something new, innovative, or something you hadn't done before. There's another aspect of this which I'd love just to touch on, and that is there's also a valley of despair. So the Dunning-Kruger effect, if you measure confidence on this axis and competence on this axis, you go really high initially, but then you crash when you realize how hard it is. And you end up in this valley of despair as you start to slowly build up your own competence in something and therefore your confidence. And I think that this is also as dangerous because it's oftentimes in this area that we give up because we have an imposter effect. This is so much harder than I thought it was. I can't do it. When in reality, you're probably more competent than you're giving yourself credit for in those times. So there's a double side to this Dunning-Kruger effect that I just think is really interesting, especially as you apply it to innovation and in veterinary medicine.
See the full article in this Friday's Fountain Report. And check out our latest Fountain Report conversation. Part 2 of our discussion with veterinary behaviorist Dr. Pachel just dropped. In this piece, he talks about ownership from the lens of today's team members and how to work best with the latest generation of veterinary professionals.
And I love when I've been able to ask some of my younger employees, what speaks to you? They have different answers than I do. And so what I love being able to do as an employer to the best of my ability is to be able to actually meet their needs. And I'm in the world of behavior. We leverage reinforcers. That's what we do as motivators of behavior. If I can't do that as a business owner, I got more to cover in therapy. That's the answer there as well. But no, I love being able to really think about that for those individuals. And they do have a different approach. They grew up at a different time period. They're seeing life through a different lens.
Make sure to visit our Intelligence YouTube channel to see the entire interview and all of our Fountain Report conversations, and hit that subscribe button. And you can subscribe to the Fountain Report by visiting intelligence.com. Follow us on LinkedIn to always have access to the latest news. For Fountain Report Insights, I'm Matt Bubala. Make it a great week.